Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is getting knocked down by life so hard they're questioning if they'll ever get back up. Maybe that someone is you. Maybe you've been rejected from that job you desperately needed. Maybe your business failed and you're drowning in debt. Maybe someone you trusted shattered your heart into pieces. Maybe you're staring at your bank account wondering how you'll survive another month. And in that moment of being flat on your back, you're thinking, I can't take much more of this. Maybe I'm just not cut out for success. Maybe I should accept that this is as good as it gets. But here's what I need you to understand. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mean and nasty place that will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. The difference between those who stay down and those who become champions isn't about avoiding the hits. It's about what you do after you get hit. Today, we're diving deep into the brutal truth about resilience, about getting back up when life knocks you down, and about why your greatest victories often come right after your most devastating defeats. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending everything's fine when it's not. This is about the raw, honest reality of what it takes to build unbreakable mental toughness in a world designed to break you. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Think about the hardest moment you faced in the last year. Maybe it was losing someone you loved. Maybe it was failing at something you'd worked years to achieve. Maybe it was watching your dreams crumble right before your eyes. In that moment, you had a choice. You could stay down, or you could get back up. The fact that you're here, reading this right now, means you chose to get back up. And that choice, that decision to keep moving forward when everything in you wants to quit, that's what separates winners from quitters. Pain is temporary. It may last a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it lasts forever. This is one of the most important truths you'll ever understand about resilience. Every form of pain you're experiencing right now, the financial stress, the heartbreak, the failure, the rejection, all of it is temporary. All of it will pass. But the moment you quit, the moment you give up on your dreams, that becomes permanent. Let me give you real examples. You're building a business and you're 3 months behind on rent. You've got creditors calling, friends telling you to get a real job, and your savings account shows zero. The pain of that financial pressure is real. It's crushing, it keeps you awake at night, but it's temporary. You can find ways to make money. You can adjust your strategy. You can work extra hours or take on side projects. Eventually, the financial pressure will ease. But if you quit your business and abandon your dream because of 3 months of financial pressure, that decision is permanent. You'll carry the weight of what if for the rest of your life. You'll never know what could have been. That regret doesn't fade. It compounds. Or maybe you're going through a devastating breakup. Someone you thought you'd spend your life with has walked away. The pain feels unbearable. You can't eat, can't sleep, can't imagine ever being happy again. But that pain is temporary. Your heart will heal. You'll love again. You'll find joy again. You'll be happy again. But if you let that pain convince you to give up on love entirely, if you build walls so high that no one can ever reach you again, then you've made the temporary pain permanent. You've chosen to carry it with you forever, isolating yourself from one of life's greatest gifts. The margin for error is so small. 1/2 step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow or too fast, and you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. Success and failure often come down to these tiny margins. The difference between the person who makes it and the person who doesn't isn't talent, luck, or connections. It's persistence. It's the willingness to keep pushing when everyone else quits. It's staying in the game one more round when everyone else has thrown in the towel. Think about it. The entrepreneur who makes it versus the one who doesn't might have started with the same idea, the same resources, the same challenges, but one kept going through month 13 when the other quit at month 12. One more month, 12 more inches. That's all it took. You got a dream. You got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. If you want something, go get it. Period. This is where most people fail. Not because they lack the ability to achieve their dreams, but because they let other people's limitations become their own. They let other people's fears talk them out of their possibilities. Think about when you first told people about your biggest dream. Maybe you wanted to start a business, write a book, become an artist, or change careers entirely. How many people immediately told you why it wouldn't work? How many people started listing all the reasons you should play it safe instead? Here's what they were really telling you. I'm afraid to take risks, so you shouldn't either. I've given up on my dreams, so you should give up on yours too. I'm comfortable with mediocrity, so don't you dare try to be extraordinary. But you know what? Their comfort zone has nothing to do with your potential. Their past failures don't determine your future success. Their fear doesn't get to write the story of your life. When someone tells you your dream is impossible, ask yourself, what have they achieved that gives them the authority to judge what's possible? Are they living the life you want to live? Have they taken the risks you're willing to take? Have they put in the work you're willing to put in? If the answer is no, then their opinion about your potential is worthless. Don't let people who've settled for less convince you to settle for less too. Don't let people who've never left their hometown tell you that you can't conquer the world. Don't let people who've never taken a risk tell you that your dreams are too risky. Don't be afraid to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions. You have to believe that something different can happen. Fear of failure is what keeps most people stuck in lives they hate. They'd rather stay in a job that makes them miserable than risk failing at something they love. They'd rather stay in relationships that drain them than risk being alone. They'd rather complain about their circumstances than risk trying to change them. But here's the truth about failure. It's not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to success. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. The difference is they didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before creating the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah was fired from her first television job. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. These people didn't succeed despite their failures. They succeeded because of what they learned from their failures. When you're afraid to make decisions, you're essentially choosing to let life make decisions for you. And life doesn't care about your dreams, your goals, or your happiness. Life will put you wherever is convenient for everyone else. But when you make bold decisions, even when you're scared, even when you're not sure it'll work out, you take control of your story. You become the author of your own life instead of just a character in someone else's story. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. Your beliefs about what's possible become your reality. If you believe you can overcome this challenge, you'll find a way. If you believe you can't, you'll find excuses. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Every action you take, every goal you pursue, every obstacle you face starts with a thought. Change your thoughts and you'll change your life. Most of you say that you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kinda want it. You don't want it badly enough. You want to party more. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. This is the brutal truth that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who just talk about them. Most people want success the same way they want to lose weight or get in shape. They want it, but they don't want it more than they want comfort. They want it, but they don't want it more than they want to avoid hard work. Real success requires obsession. It requires wanting your goals so badly that you're willing to sacrifice your comfort. It requires wanting your dreams so much that you're willing to work when others are sleeping, study when others are partying, and persist when others are quitting. Ask yourself, what do you want more than anything else in your life right now? Now ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to get it? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to endure? How many hours of sleep are you willing to lose? How many parties are you willing to miss? How many times are you willing to hear no before you get to yes? If you can't answer those questions honestly, then you don't really want it. You just like the idea of having it, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having casual dreams, but don't expect casual effort to produce extraordinary results. The people who achieve extraordinary things are the ones who want their goals more than they want their excuses. They want their dreams more than they want their comfort. They want their future more than they want their past. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. This might be the most important insight in this entire message. Most people aren't held back by their weaknesses. They're held back by their fear of their own strength. They're terrified of what they might accomplish if they actually tried their hardest. Why? Because with great power comes great responsibility. If you discover that you're capable of building $1 million business, then you can never again use "I'm not smart enough" as an excuse for being broke. If you discover that you're capable of getting in the best shape of your life, then you can never again blame genetics for being out of shape. If you discover that you're capable of building deep, meaningful relationships, then you can never again blame others for your loneliness. Your potential is terrifying because it eliminates your excuses. It removes your ability to play victim. It forces you to take responsibility for your results. But here's what happens when you stop running from your power and start embracing it. You realize that every limitation you thought you had was actually a choice. Every can't was actually a won't. Every impossible was actually "I haven't figured out how yet." You have to dig deep down. Dig deep down and ask yourself, who do you want to be? Figure out for yourself what makes you happy, no matter how crazy it may sound to other people. This isn't about other people's expectations or society's definition of success. This is about you deciding who you want to become and having the courage to become that person. Make a choice. Just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you are going to do it. Just decide. Why not? Why can't I be MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why can't I do that? This is the moment when everything changes. Not when you have all the answers. Not when you feel ready. Not when the conditions are perfect. But when you decide that regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the challenges, regardless of what anyone else thinks, you're going to pursue your dreams with everything you've got. Most people wait for permission to chase their dreams. They wait for someone to tell them they're qualified, they're ready, they're good enough. But that permission never comes. You have to give it to yourself. You have to look in the mirror and say, why not me? Why can't I be the one who breaks the generational patterns in my family? Why can't I be the one who builds something extraordinary? Why can't I be the one who proves that anything is possible? The answer is, you can. You absolutely can. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have them. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Get up, get up, get up, and don't ever give up. Here's what most people don't understand about getting knocked down. It's not optional. Life is going to hit you hard, multiple times. The question isn't whether you'll get knocked down. The question is whether you'll get back up. We can stay here and get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell 1 inch at a time. Every time you get back up after being knocked down, you're not just recovering, you're building strength. You're developing resilience. You're proving to yourself that you're tougher than whatever life throws at you. Think about a boxer. The ones who become champions aren't the ones who never get hit. They're the ones who get hit hard and keep fighting. They're the ones who get knocked down and get back up. Each time they get back up, they're a little bit stronger, a little bit tougher, a little bit more determined. The same is true for life. Each time you overcome a challenge, each time you push through when you want to quit, each time you get back up after being knocked down, you're building the kind of character that can't be broken. You're building a track record with yourself. You're proving that you can survive. And once you know you can survive anything, you become unstoppable. Sacrifice what you are for what you will become. Most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit. I'm not good at math. That's right, because you never study. I'm not good at writing. Because you never write. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. This is where most people get it wrong. They think success comes from having natural talent, being lucky, or knowing the right people. But the truth is, success comes from being willing to do what unsuccessful people won't do. You want to be successful? You have to be willing to sacrifice your current comfort for your future success. You have to be willing to give up Netflix binges for skill development. You have to be willing to trade social media scrolling for studying your craft. You have to be willing to sacrifice sleep for progress. But here's what most people don't realize. This sacrifice isn't a punishment. It's an investment. Every hour you spend developing your skills is an hour invested in your future self. Every moment you choose growth over comfort is a moment that compounds into something greater. The person you are today is the result of the choices you made yesterday. The person you'll be tomorrow is being shaped by the choices you make today. If you want to become someone different, you have to start making different choices. Nobody becomes great by accident. Nobody wakes up one day having mastered their craft. Mastery is built in the quiet hours when nobody's watching. It's built in the early mornings and late nights. It's built through repetition, through failure, through trying again when you want to quit. If you are not making someone else's life better, you're wasting your time. Don't cry to quit. Cry to keep going. You're already in pain. You're already hurt. Get a reward from it. This is one of the most powerful reframes you can make in your life. You're going to experience pain anyway. That's not optional. Life is painful. Growth is painful. Change is painful. But you get to choose whether that pain has a purpose. You can experience the pain of discipline, or you can experience the pain of regret. You can experience the pain of hard work, or you can experience the pain of missed opportunities. You can experience the pain of pushing through when you want to quit, or you can experience the pain of wondering what could have been. But either way, you're going to experience pain. So why not make it count? Why not let your pain push you towards something better instead of keeping you where you are? When you're going through a difficult time, ask yourself, how can I use this experience to help someone else? How can I turn this pain into purpose? How can I make sure that what I'm going through right now serves a greater good? Your struggles can become your strengths. Your tests can become your testimony. Your mess can become your message, but only if you choose to use your pain rather than letting it use you. If you know what you're worth, go and get what you're worth, but you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. This is the hardest pill to swallow, but also the most liberating truth you'll ever accept. You are 100% responsible for your results. Not mostly responsible, not partially responsible, completely responsible. That means you can't blame your parents for how they raised you. You can't blame your boss for not promoting you. You can't blame the economy for your financial situation. You can't blame your ex for your relationship failures. You can't blame your circumstances for your lack of progress. This doesn't mean other people haven't made your journey harder. This doesn't mean you haven't faced unfair obstacles. This doesn't mean you haven't been dealt a difficult hand. But it means that regardless of what's happened to you, you're responsible for what you do next. When you take full responsibility for your life, something magical happens. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your circumstances. You stop waiting for other people to change and start changing yourself. You stop making excuses and start making progress. The moment you accept complete responsibility is the moment you reclaim your power. Because if you're responsible for where you are, that means you have the power to change it. But if everything is someone else's fault, then you're powerless. You're at the mercy of others. Choose power. Choose responsibility. Choose to be the author of your own story. Every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. Now you've got to go out and show them that you're a new creature. Your past doesn't define you. Your mistakes don't define you. Your failures don't define you. What defines you is what you do right now, in this moment, with the knowledge and power you have today. Every morning when you wake up, you have the opportunity to reinvent yourself. You can choose to be the same person you were yesterday, or you can choose to be better. You can choose to repeat the same patterns, or you can choose to break free from them. The most successful people understand this principle. They don't get stuck in their past identity. They don't let their previous failures determine their future possibilities. They treat every day as a chance to become a new version of themselves. You don't have to be who you were yesterday. You don't have to carry yesterday's defeats into today's battles. You don't have to let yesterday's limitations define today's possibilities. Right now, in this moment, you can decide to be someone new. You can decide to try again. You can decide to push harder. You can decide to believe more. You can decide to become more. Everything you need to succeed is already inside you. You don't need to wait for someone to rescue you. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions. You don't need to wait for permission or approval or validation from anyone else. You have the power to create the life you want. You have the power to overcome any obstacle. You have the power to achieve any goal you set your mind to. You have the power to become anyone you decide to become. The only question is, will you use that power? Will you step into your greatness? Will you stop playing small and start playing at the level you're truly capable of? Will you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it? Will you stop asking for permission and start taking action? Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. The boundaries you think exist are often just boundaries you've accepted. The limitations you think you have are often just limitations you've chosen to believe. So here we are, at the end of this message, but really at the beginning of your transformation. Because reading these words means nothing unless you do something with them. You have a choice to make right now. You can close this, go back to your regular life, and let these words fade into the background noise of inspiration you've heard before. You can let the fire that might be building in your chest right now slowly die out. You can go back to making excuses, playing small, and wondering, what if? Or you can decide that today is the day everything changes. You can decide that you're done making excuses. You're done playing victim. You're done letting other people's limitations define your possibilities. You're done letting fear make your decisions. You're done letting temporary pain convince you to permanently quit. You can decide that you're going to take responsibility for your life, protect your dreams, develop your skills, embrace your power, and keep getting up no matter how many times life knocks you down. You can decide that you're going to turn your pain into purpose, your struggles into strength, and your obstacles into opportunities. The choice is yours. It's always been yours, and it will always be yours. So what's it going to be? Are you going to stay down, or are you going to get back up? Are you going to quit, or are you going to keep fighting? Are you going to let life happen to you, or are you going to make life happen? The world is waiting for your answer, but more importantly, you're waiting for your answer. Make it count. Get up, stand up, fight back, and don't you dare give up. Your greatest victory is waiting on the other side of your greatest challenge. Now go get it.